Hello everyone, it's May 3rd, 2014. We're creeping up on almost 3 years, well, 2.5 years since I was given way too much Cipro in September of 2011. If you want to recap, watch the video before this one. I can't recap it every video. In about 2 weeks playing poker, I got up to $10,000, and 2 weeks later I lost it all. I didn't put any in the bank, I didn't pay off any bills, I just thought I was going to keep winning. And when I would lose, I would just keep playing. I violated money management principles, which I was supposed to abide by when I started. And now I'm broke. I had that nest egg going for me, the 10,000. I could have bought in for 200 or 300 each night and played solid, and eventually probably built that up even more. But when I would lose, I would just keep playing and get frustrated and play worse. And it cost me. There are nights where I lost 2,000 or 3,000, and a couple of those nights, and it's all gone. So now I have about $150 in my bank account, and I only make $12.50 a month from disability. So I'm broke now. My little poker dream is over, unless I can do something online. I have a bit of a sinus headache going, which always makes things worse. It makes my thoughts worse. I don't really have a point to this video other than I'm upset about losing all that money, and I just felt like, expressing it, putting it out there. It's a beautiful day today here in Tennessee. There's a park nearby and I can hear the music, so that's kind of nice if I didn't have this headache. I had all that money and I didn't even stop to buy a gun. That was my exit plan. I could have at least had a gun, ready. One second. But part of that poker money was I was gonna get my own place, instead of living here and not being able to have a dog. I was gonna get my own place and get a dog, so I could at least have a dog. But I'm stuck here now. But it was sort of like an escape. I could leave my whole entire old life behind. I didn't have to tell anyone where I was moving to, because I don't. My family. Anybody that doesn't want to accept, the horror of what Cipro did to me, I don't want to talk to. I don't want to be associated with. I never, for all I care, I never talk to them again in my life, and that includes my family. Anyone that will not, understand how bad it messed me up, I don't want to have anything to do with them. And it hurts, because I love my family, but it's such a huge thing in my life that I don't want to be around anyone that ignorant. I don't want to talk to them. So the poker money was kind of like a way to completely get rid of my old life. I could leave here, there would be no trace of me. Everybody knows where I am, they know I'm here. But poker money, I could have got my own place and just got away. Now that I lost all that money, it's also kind of like bringing a reminder, like, I have to remember, who I am, what happened to me. People watching, if anybody's watching this for the first time, what the hell happened to you? But, you seem all right. All I can tell you is go to ciprospoison.com, and while I don't have as bad physically as Mr. K does from that website, I assure you, mentally, I endured and still endure as much, if not more, than he has. So, losing all that money has kind of brought back a lot of bad thoughts, a lot of the old thoughts, a lot of longing for the past and situations in the past, and watching things on YouTube and wishing that I had led this life or led that life. And I'm kind of confined here now. Poker I could get out, once a night and socialize a little bit. Everybody knew me there. I was a known. They called me Moped, because I rode a moped. Everybody thought I was just so lucky and so good, but they don't see you when you're losing money. They don't see those nights. But it's kind of like a little bit of a family, but I can't go back. I don't have any money, so I'm stuck here playing League of Legends and 5-10 cent online poker. Which, don't get me wrong, I can build up money if I do good doing that, but it's just it's so slow. It's like a snail's pace compared to making 10,000 in a couple weeks. In every video I have to mention to you that while I was on the poison known as Cipro and Flagyl, I'm sure that was a potent cocktail, I developed a spasm somewhere in my pelvic floor, which to this day, as far as I'm conscious, has never relented. That's right. Let me reiterate, for all of you who are thinking of taking a fluoroquinol antibiotic, worse than all the weird mental grinding, poppy joints, weak muscles, weird stinging pains and skin and all, worse than all that is a spasm which has never stopped, never ever stopped, as far as I'm conscious, for 2.5 years, and it started while I was on the Cipro. Okay, so you can't tell me that just is just some random thing that started. It's from the toxicity of the Cipro and the Flagyl. It's not Lyme disease. I do have Lyme disease, but it's not Lyme. Lyme disease can give you spasms. But we're talking about intermittent, spasms. This is some kind of nerve damage which causes a muscle in my pelvic floor to twitch constantly. Never stops. I would say about 3 or 4 times the frequency of a heartbeat is about the frequency that it goes at, about 3 or 4 times. And I felt it, for the first couple months I would feel it always, but I don't feel it as much now when I'm standing and sitting down. When I'm laying down, I definitely feel it. I know it's always there though, because when I contract my puborectalis muscle, which is a muscle like when you urinate, when you squeeze that last bit of urine out, that contraction there, that's your puborectalis. Might be different for females, but for males, that's your puborectalis. And some, texture there, overlapping of muscles, enables me to rub against it or whatever, and I feel it, constantly going. it doesn't really, it has a mind of its own. It doesn't care whether I'm contracting against it or not contracting against it. It's always there. It's always vibrating. And, you know, that's the life I live, you know. I'm sorry for the weird faces, but I have a headache. I just felt like throwing this video out here. And, you guys are my only friends, you know. You too. But I can't really have a normal friend, you know. It was hard for me before because I was, you know, I had some mild depression going on. It was hard for me to have a friend. And I didn't really want friends, you know. I wanted a girlfriend. That's what I used to want. And now that that's impossible because of Lyme disease, it's like friends are okay, but I don't know. It's weird, you know. Your body continues to age, but your mind, like you're mature, like if you haven't experienced something, your mind continues to crave it and it stays at that level. But at the same time, you know, your body ages, and the chemical aging, you know, the aging of your body makes you desire what's appropriate at that level, you know, like at that age, you know, like at my age, you know, I see a little kid and I'm like, oh, you know, yeah, they got that fatherly instinct, and you wish you had a kid, you know, or you see a woman and you have that sort of natural, you know, that you want to know someone at a more than just a sexual level, you know. But then at the same time, you know, because I never had sex, you know, it's like I have that desire, you know, the sexual desire, you know, and that just overrides. That's the most, you know, strongest. And that's the way it always was, even before I had Lyme disease, you know. I would see a girl and I would be like, man, I just have sex with this girl. You can't carry a conversation. You still have the desires, but, you know, I have those desires now, but they can't be fulfilled, you know. Because I don't care what you say. I don't believe anything. I take everything that the CDC says with a grain of salt. Take everything that the government says with a grain of salt. Well, the government thinks Cipro and fluoroquinolone antibiotics are approved. They're okay. They're safe for public use. So, if I was crippled by, you know, Cipro, or this crazy nerve damage, never mind all the random weird pains. You know, I'm thankful I don't have any, you know, ruptured tendons, and I can still walk and talk. I'm not blind. I'm not deaf. You know, I'm thankful for that. You know, I'm thankful it didn't do that to me. You know, thankful my brain isn't on fire. My body doesn't feel like it's on fire. You know, I don't feel dizzy 24/7. I have tinnitus, because all these things have happened, and we're talking permanent. All these things have happened to people from fluoroquinolone antibiotics. I guarantee, I mean, unless there's thousands, tens of thousands of people lying to me, you know, which I doubt, these things have happened. And I'm thankful that those things haven't happened to me. I hate that I have this constant twitch, which is more than a twitch, more than an annoying twitch to me. I think it confuses the hell out of my GI to not empty all the way. But anyways, talk about that. What I was saying is, the real experts in Lyme, I think, are herbalists and naturopath doctors, people who aren't brainwashed by Big Pharma. And there's a Dr. Klinghardt who says that the spirochetes are found in saliva. In other words, I can't guarantee that I'm not going to give someone Lyme disease just by French kissing them. So the only thing that leaves in a relationship is a hug, a handshake, and a hand job, maybe. You know, that's where I'm at. So I have to live my life, the rest of my life, without ever having had sex. So we're just going to go 20 minutes here. I have no money, you know, I have to pay for a registration of my moped, I have cable bill, yada yada yada. I might have no money. I can't. So let's just forget about money. That's just money, right? It's just money. It would have been nice, you know, to have my own place and stuff. Get a dog and everything. Get a gun, you know. I could have at least got a gun, you know. So what am I gonna do now if I want to kill myself? You know, it's like, if I get in too much pain, what am I gonna do? There's nothing I can do. I can't take Seroquel. Probably just paralyze me, or you know, put me in a coma. When I go, I want it to just be like, boom, gone. No doubt. So these times when I have a headache, you know, it's just, I just have to wait it out. It just stays and stays in my eyeballs, it's in my nose and forehead, and then my neck starts hurting, and it lasts, like, sometimes it'll last like days. You know, and I just gotta wait it out. It's usually worse when I lie down, so I'm trying to just stand up. I don't know what else to say. Except, if you watch this far, don't take synthetic pills. If you have to take synthetic pills, which I do not recommend. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I actually got high the other night. It didn't stop the spasm. In fact, it made me feel like a little bit paranoid. It's like time kind of slows down. It feels like your thoughts are like, it feels like every 15 seconds you're like thinking of like 100 different things, you know. And I'm sure it didn't help my poker game. But I thought maybe, you know, with the weed interacting with the brain, maybe it would send some kind of signal to get my spasm to stop, but my spasm never stopped. I really think it's a local damage, you know, in the pelvic floor. I mean, hell, I don't know. You know, I honestly don't know how something can twitch for years and not be painful, you know. Because the day it gets painful and it's never going to stop, I mean, that's not going to be fun. You know? That's going to be exit time. Anyways, enjoy the weekend, everybody.